You want to win, you got to be all in. You have to be all in. Stop trying this thing out. Stop dipping your toes in. Commit. And if you do, I promise you, it'll be the wildest, funnest, most fulfilling journey of your entire life. Let's go. The traits of a championship player. So I'm gonna give you 12 points right now. Number one, they play because they love the game. They play because they love the game. And that doesn't mean you love every part of the game. It just means they play because they love the game. You guys ever heard the quote that says, he who loves to play, she who loves to play will always play harder than the person that has to. That's it. Like how people like watch Tom Brady retire and then he was like, I'm going back, man. I'm going back. Why? Because he loved the game. He just wanted to keep on playing. He wanted to keep on playing. So when people see people like myself on stage or, people who have gotten free in this industry and they built an income that makes it so they don't have to do anything anymore, be like, why do you still show up? Because I love the game, dude. I love the freaking game. Somebody asked me, Matt, are you going to build a base shop forever? I said, heck yeah, I'm going to build a base shop forever. There's no greater joy in the world than building a base shop. Yeah, I can easily shut it down and just focus on the higher. Are you kidding me? Like, have you ever built a base shop before? There's nothing greater than building a base shop. I love the game. And if you want to win here, there's got to be a love for the game that you have. So that way when you wake up every single day, it's I get to go play, not I have to go work. Let me say it again. It's I get to go play, not I have to go work. You got to fall in love with the game. I loved the game of soccer. I hated our 2-mile warm-up. Hated it. We had to get a 2-mile warm-up done in under 13 minutes. I did not like that in any way, shape, or form. I used to pretend I had a pulled hamstring, so I had to stretch for that 2 hours. Transparently, I didn't love practice every day. We practiced 5 days a week for our 90-minute game on a Saturday. I didn't like that very much, but we did it. You want to know why? Because we loved the game. I didn't like being scored on. I didn't like injuries. I didn't like being kicked in the shin. I didn't like taking a knee to the chest from the goalie and getting the wind knocked out of me. I didn't like the elbows that I took to the nose. I didn't like any of those things. But guess what? I love the game. And that's a part of the game. And so if I'm going to love the game, I got to love that too, because it's a part of the game. It's the same thing when it comes to this. You don't have to love the phone calls. Some of you do. You don't have to love the field training. Some of you do. You don't have to love the recruiting interview. Some of you do. You don't have to love the onboarding 3. Some of you do. But it doesn't mean you stop loving the game. It just means there's a part of the game that may not be your favorite, but it still means you got to love it. Championship players show up with that love no matter what. Look at your neighbor and say, be a championship player. Trait number 2, they play regardless. Championship players, they play regardless. Matt, what does that mean? They play tired, they play hurt, they play frustrated, they play, even if their goldfish drowns, they play regardless of their circumstances, they play regardless of what's going on in their personal life, they play no matter what. That's what they do. They play. They play regardless. Do you play hurt? I remember last year when I tore my meniscus, and we were on the tour still, the 4,700 city tour that kept ending and restarting every week. And I tore my meniscus. And so I tore my meniscus and I had my little scooter. Some of you guys saw the scooter. And some people were like, Matt, how come you showed up? You could have easily not. Because I wanted to remove the excuses of every single person in my organization that ever said they can't show up because they're hurt. I said, so I'm going to play hurt. I'm going to play hurt. And then I had the surgery. And after you have the surgery, you got to keep your leg perfectly straight. And I'm in airports on crutches. And I remember getting to the airport and we had a 20-minute gap between flight to flight so I can get to the Midwest for an event. We had a 20-minute and they were supposed to bring me a wheelchair. And they said the wheelchair is going to get here in 20 minutes. No, right? And so I grabbed my crutches. And it's not like the gate was one gate away. Do you know those those airports where you got to take a train? I'm freaking running through the airport like this, right? I got my duffel bag in one hand with my laptop, and I'm running through the airport. Do you want to know why? We had to play hurt, whatever we got to freaking do. We play hurt, we play tired, we play frustrated, we play exhausted. Champions play hurt. Champions play hurt. Kobe Bryant tore his Achilles, walked back out onto the free throw line, put 2 in the basket. Why? Because he said, he was in the locker room And his daughters are there, his wife is there, and he's questioning, is this the end of my career? And he goes, I can't show my daughters what quitting looks like. And that's what made him walk back out on the court and drain 2 free throws, because he saw his daughters and he said, I can't be an example of giving up when you're hurt. I'm walking back onto that playing field. I'm walking back onto that court, and I'm going to drain 2 baskets. And that's exactly what he did. That's exactly what he did. Question, do you play hurt? Do you play sick? Do you play tired? Or do you only play when you feel like it? See, that's the difference. Number 3, they look for the 1 to 2 players around them that they can count on no matter what. They look for the 1 to 2 players around them that they can count on no matter what. How many of us have ever played any sport? Okay? I don't know if you were this player or not, but I knew when I stepped onto the field, I was willing to die. I know that sounds very aggressive, but I was willing to die. And I know out of the 11 people that were going to be on that field, there's probably maybe one other person that also felt that way. And on every team I went on, I was always looking for who's that 1 to 2 players around me that we like, hey, it's going to be our job to put the whole team on our back if we need to. We'll put the whole team on our back if we need to. We don't need a coach to call it. We're going to lead. We're going to put the whole team on our back if we need to. Like, we were ready to die. It meant something to us. And we say, hey, I know you're willing to sacrifice everything. I know I'm willing to sacrifice everything. And I know if we come together, we can unite the entire team to be willing to sacrifice something. Because most people won't set the standard. They allow somebody else to do it, and then they just kind of mosey their way on in. And I was looking for the other player that was willing to die on that field with me. If you want to win and become a championship player, it's going to require you having a couple of championship players around you that when you're feeling hurt and you're feeling tired, you can look them in the eyes and say, oh my gosh, I don't know how the heck we're going to get through this, but we're going to get freaking through it. I don't know how we're going to come back and win, but you can bet your ass we're going to come back and win. I don't know what it's going to look like, but boy, oh boy, if we die on this field today, at least we die doing something we love, something that matters to us, something that means something to us. Like, we're going to die because this matters. Because this matters. And I was always looking for, like, who are those championship players that I can surround myself with that are willing to leave it all on the playing field because it's about the team. You got to look for that. Do you have that, by the way? Are you that person? Are you the person that your teammate can look at you and they can just look into your eyes and say, they got it. They got it. Anybody ever seen the movie 12 Strong? Chris Hemsworth, he shows up and he's supposed to meet with the Iraqi friendlies, and they're saying, okay, we're supposed to work together and we got to go take out the Taliban, right? And so he meets the person that's leading the friendlies, and he goes up to him and they're talking, and he goes, you're everybody's leader? He goes, yeah. He goes, I'm not following your lead. He goes, why? He looks him in the eyes. He said, you don't have killer eyes. He said, you don't have killer eyes. He said, you've never been in a battle, have you? You've never taken a life, have you? And he goes, well, I got all this experience. And he just starts explaining his training to him. He goes, none of that matters. And then they're on this, my favorite scene of the entire movie. It's one of my favorite scenes in movie history. And they're literally in war battle, and then everybody's shooting. And the leader of the friendlies rolls up, and he looks at him. He goes, those are killer eyes, because he just watched him take out an entire, he goes, those are killer eyes. And he goes, I can respect you and I can trust you now. It was like this rite of passage, like, I can trust you now. Question, do you have the killer eyes? Like, do you have the eyes? Somebody said, Matt, how do you identify somebody that you can build with? For me, I look at their eyes. Do they have those eyes? Do they have those eyes of, like, I'm willing to leave it all on the playing field? Do they have those eyes? Question, do you have those eyes? Did you used to have those eyes, but you don't anymore? Or do you have the eyes where we look you in the eyes and we can tell you want it so bad? You want it so bad. You got a white hot burning desire. You got a white hot desire to do something great with your life. Like, this isn't just something you do. This means something to you. You got the freaking killer eyes, and you just want to lay it all on the playing field in order to win. Are you that person? Because that's how championship players operate. That's how championship players operate. They have those eyes. Number 4, they play to compete. They play to compete. When was the last time you got competitive? When was the last time you said, you know what, Gordon, I'm freaking beating you to your $500,000 ring? You know what? Like when was the last time you got competitive? When was the last time you called someone out? When was the last time you bet something and put money on the line? When was the last time you put anything on the line? Oh, you're like, well, when it's my turn, it's my turn. How about you get in the freaking ring? How about you square up? How about you put on some gloves and how about let's fight? Let's go toe to toe, man. I want to find out who's the better man, better woman. Let's freaking compete, dude. When was the last time you competed? Or are you afraid to lose so you don't try at all? You won't even get in the ring because you're like, I don't like to compete. No, dude, you are so afraid of losing, you don't compete at all. When are you going to get in the arena and fight? When are you going to call somebody out and say, hey, I love you and I respect you. You love me and you respect me. Let's go freaking toe to toe for a 100K ring. Let's go toe to toe on EMD. I didn't hit one milestone or promotion ever in my entire career for me. I did it for one reason and one reason only, to beat the guy or gal that I was competing against. That was it. Competition drives performance. You know when Usain Bolt broke the world record, second and third place broke the previous world record? Because they were trying to keep up with the winner. They beat the previous world record because it was about winning and competing. When are you going to start competing? Put on your gloves, man. Put on your gloves. Get in the ring. It makes it way more fun. And will you get knocked out every once in a while? Heck yeah, you will. But doesn't it just make you feel alive when you do? Like, when do you feel the most alive on a roller coaster? When it's going up or when it's going down? I don't want you to have a down in business, but boy, oh boy, does it wake you up. Number 5, they play to get better. They play to get better. Question, are you waking up every day thinking to yourself, I'm here to get better. I'm going to get better. I'm going to get better. I'm going to get better. What do professional athletes do? Every day they work on their skill set. Every day they work on improving. Every day they work on getting better. And you know what I see a lot of people do? They come into our business, they hit CFT, and then they stop trying to get better. They come into our business, they hit marketing director, and they stop trying to get better. They come into this business, they hit EMD, they cross 6 figures, and they stop trying to get better because they think they kind of know everything that it takes to win. They just got to do more of it. And here's the deal. Do you got to do more of it? Absolutely. But what if you can do more of it and be better at it? And that comes down to the obsession of getting better. Championship players show up every day and think, how do I get better? How do I make sure that when I put my head on the pillow tonight, I am better than the player I was yesterday? How do I make sure that when I go into this month, I'm a better player than I was last month? How do I make sure that I'm improving? Championship players are always focused on getting better. I hate to break it to you, but you are not enough the way you are right now to win. You're not. You were created perfectly in His image, but you are not who you need to be in order to win. You are not who you need to be. If you knew what you needed to know, you would have your goals already. If you were as skilled as you needed to be, you would have your goals already. The reason you don't have your goals is you are not yet the person that's required to get them. And that's just the brutal reality. We have to commit to getting better. Championship players try to get better every single day. Number 6, they play for the name on the front of the jersey. This is a team sport. And if you're playing for the name on the back of your jersey versus the name on the front of your jersey, that's a problem when it comes to winning as an organization and winning as a team. It's not about you. It's not about you, and it can't be. San Diego got a new MLS soccer team, and they recruited the star player from Mexico. His name is Chucky Lozano. And so they recruited the top player from Mexico, and he came in on a $9 million salary, one of the top salaries in the MLS. If we go worldwide, these players are making hundreds of millions of dollars. In the US, we're on the come up in soccer, right? And he was the top income earner. He was the star. He's Mexico's player. You'll probably see him this week. Like, that was it. And he got benched the majority of the season. He got benched the majority of the season. He got benched in playoffs over and over again. You wanna know why? He was playing for the name on the back of the jersey. And the coach said, I don't care how good you are. I don't care how much we pay you. It's about the team, and the team. And if you're going to show up for the name on the back of your jersey more than you're going to show up for the name on the front of your jersey, I'm not putting you on the field. I'm not putting you on the field. And so the coach, who this was his first season ever coaching professional soccer, had to explain to the franchise owners why the player they're spending $9 million a year on is not on the field half the season. But it was a shot that had to be called. And guess what? That year, do you know what they did? They won the entire league that year. Think about that. A brand new team, first team ever, they won the league that year, and they benched their star player the entire time because he wasn't a team player. The coach knew the power of the team, and he was willing to get rid of the cancer in order for the betterment of the team. Question, are you playing for the name only on the back of your jersey? This is a team sport. Can you celebrate others as if you're going to be celebrated one day? Can you clap onto others as if it's your team? It can't just be about you. The championship players, they play for the team. That's why you saw Kobe not leave the Lakers. That's why you saw Michael not leave the Bulls. Do you want to know why? Because it was about the team, it was about the franchise, and there's nothing that you can do to get them to replace it. It doesn't mean they didn't call their teammates out. It doesn't mean they didn't challenge them. It doesn't mean they didn't push them. It just means that it was about the team overall. Does this make sense? Number 7, they play angry. They play angry. I know that this is not maybe the most politically correct thing in the world, but I'm giving you guys a locker room talk because we're in Dominican. You qualified to be here. I can speak to you raw and real. And if you can't handle the heat, get the heck out the kitchen, man. Okay? Great players. They play angry. They play angry. Anybody ever been on a field and somebody pissed you off and you just found this level of energy that wasn't there? You found this level of drive that wasn't there? I watched my teammate get taken out and it was intentional. It was on purpose. And I looked over at my team. I said, I just want you to know, on the next corner kick, I'm breaking his nose. He went and cleats up right into my teammate's knee. And I looked at him. I said, I want you to know, because my teammate couldn't play for the next 3 games. I said, I want you to know, on the next corner kick, we're breaking his nose. He goes up, stepped on his toe, bah! Freaking laid him out on the floor, right? And that might not be the nicest thing in the world. It might not have been the most godly moment of my life. But the fact of the matter is, you don't freaking come after my teammate. Does that make sense? You play angry. We play angry. Number 8, they play to honor their coach. Great players play to honor their coach. That's why I work so hard. That's why I try to be the most active person in the company chats, because Eric laid a lot on the line for us to have the opportunity, everything on the line for us to have the opportunity that we have. I feel like I have a responsibility to honor my coach. That's it. He gave us the shot. I'm going to honor you. I'm going to give you the loyalty. It doesn't mean I agree all the time. It just means if there are disagreements, they happen in a private room, not publicly. To everyone else, he's the perfect coach. To everyone else, everything's great. If we ever have, we'll have a conversation on the side, but I will always honor my coach. I will always put him on the high horse. I will always make sure he's taken care of. When we go out to lunch, I say, Eric, your money's no good around me. Put it away. That's it. We honor our coach. It's the nobility exchange. You honor your leadership. Great players honor their leadership no matter what. They honor their leadership no matter what. In our practice company, I had uplines, and you guys will never have to go through this because we're your leadership, but I had uplines that were taking people off my team. In fact, the first 2 EMD and ring earners that I had, they got taken off my team, and they said the only way for you to stay in this office is if you transfer your whole team to me. They said if you want to date your wife, who's my now wife, girlfriend at the time, is that if you want to date Allie, you got to transfer your whole hierarchy under us or else it's not allowed and you got to go get your own office. And I was 21 years old. I had no money and it was the way I was feeding my family. And it's the way I was taking care of my dad. I said I had no other option. I had to stay, right? And so we had to do that. And so we had leadership that my team would invite guests to our open houses and the leadership would code them before they had the opportunity to. Like imagine that. Imagine Ernie inviting a guest and then all of a sudden, his upline coding them direct and say, sorry, we beat you to it. And he invited them. That was every single day in our office growing up. I'm not saying this to be bad. I'm just telling you guys the reality of things. You have it easy. You have leadership that actually cares about you, okay? Great players are coachable. They're coachable at the speed of instruction. I remember Colby Derrickson, who I'm so proud of. They're on the move. He qualified to be in this event. He was actually number 6 in the qualification process. Some stuff happened. He wasn't able to make it. But I remember Colby, he comes and he sits down with me and he goes, Matt, can we set up a one-on-one? He was a senior associate in my base shop and go, yeah. So we sit down and he was like, what do I got to do to win? I said, you got to do this, that, and the third. Right? I said, okay. The next month he texts me. He said, hey, Matt, can we sit down? I said, yeah, let's sit down. He said, what do I got to do to win? I said, Colby, I told you this last month. We got to do this, that, and the third in order to win. Right? And then he texted me the next month. He said, hey, can we sit down? I said, no. He goes, what do you mean no? I said, I've already coached you and you haven't done anything that I've suggested. So you want me to show up for another hour and tell you the same thing that I've already told you? Until you change and are willing to be coachable with what we have already given you, I can't coach you any further. 2 months later, he hits marketing director. 5 months after that, he hits EMD and crosses 6 figures. Okay? Why? Because he decided to be coachable. You know, one of my favorite quotes is, if it doesn't work the first time, try doing what your trainer taught you to do in the first place. We have a recipe for winning. We have, you know, it's so crazy to me when people blame companies or blame products or they blame all these things. Like, don't get me wrong, there is such thing as toxic environments, but we don't have one of those. And so to blame anything else but yourself and take responsibility is quite ridiculous, because there's people that are making $500,000 a month with the same culture, the same products, the same systems, the same everything as you, and you're blaming everyone else. Have you ever thought that maybe the difference in why they're making it and you're not is because they stopped blaming and decided to take responsibility, and you keep on blaming? Have you ever thought about that? You continue to blame and you don't grow. They took responsibility and won. Same company, same system. The only variable is you. Number 10, they always take ownership. Great players take ownership. My fault, coach. It's on me. Hey, we lose a month. Hey, this is on me. I didn't do what I needed to do. It's on me. It's not anybody's fault. It's on me. I should have done it. Are you that person in the base shop? Are you that person in the super base? Or is it, hey, super base numbers weren't the greatest last month. Hey, it's on me. I didn't do my part. I should have rallied the troops around me. It's on me. I got it. Are you taking ownership even for what you can't control? Because if you do, you'll become a championship player. Number 11, almost done. They play to win. They're not playing not to lose. And I think a lot of people in this room right now, you are playing not to lose versus playing to win. You are playing not to lose versus playing to win. That is not a good place to be. We talked about this earlier. If you're driving a car and you look at the wall, you're going to avoid the wall, avoid the wall, avoid the wall. You will hit the wall. You can't play from a place of trying not to lose. You got to play from a place of I'm playing to win. I'm freaking going to make it happen. I'm going to send it. I'm going to do whatever's required. I'm playing to win. We didn't come to try to win. I don't know what the word try means. Try means that there's an opportunity for failure. Try means that there's a chance of loss. That's what try means. Hey, if it works out, awesome. If it doesn't, no big deal. I just tried. Commitment is doing what you said you were going to do long after the feeling you set it in is gone. So when you are committed to winning, it's win or win. You got to play to win. Are you shooting not to miss? Are you playing not to lose? Are you shooting to score and playing to win? That's the difference right there. That's the difference. And last but not least, number 12, they're all in. You think Kobe Bryant was all in on basketball? You think Lionel Messi is all in on soccer? You think Tom Brady was all in on football? You think they were dabbling in other things? No. They were all in. This is what they did. This was their sport. This wasn't something they were trying. This isn't something that they were hoping to make work. They were all in. And if you want to win, you got to be all in. You got to plant your flag. If you give yourself a plan B, you'll find it. You'll find the plan B because you'll figure out a way to sabotage A to get to B. If you want to win, you got to burn your boats. The only way to take the island is if you burn your boats so you have nothing to retreat to. You need to sign a contract with yourself. I'm all in. There's nothing you can do to get me to give up. There's nothing you can do to get me to quit. That's it. You want to win, you got to be all in. You have to be all in. Stop trying this thing out. Stop dipping your toes in. Commit. And if you do, I promise you, it'll be the wildest, funnest, most fulfilling journey of your entire life.
Let's get it. Let's get it. Let's get it.